Yo, welcome back to my motherfucking channel. How we living, man? What triggered me today? Well, it's something that we all see, but there's really nothing that we can actually do to change it in the immediate future. That's not like hopeless, but that's just like saying it will change over time because it's better than it was 50 years ago. So it might take another 50 years to get a little bit better. That's what I believe in. So it might not be good for me because it wasn't good for my grandmother or my great-grandmother. It doesn't have to be good for me, but I know it's better than what she went through. But anyway, I seen a video today of a girl who was held against her will. And when she was held against her will, it was criminal entrapment. The police officer said it was criminal entrapment. You know, you can't hold somebody against their will for whatever reasons you want to do it. You can't do it. You know? But that's not what triggered me so much as what the police officer did. You know, he was like, man, I can really arrest you for this. But I'm going to tell you that what you did was criminal entrapment. You know what I'm saying? Criminal confinement. Criminal confinement. That's what it was. Criminal confinement. And even though it was criminal confinement, he was upset. He was clearly upset at this dude. But it was a white police officer. And it was what I would like to call a European American savage. And why do I call white people European American savages? Because I don't think black people are savages. You'd be like, man, what about all the inner city crime? Well, 9 times out of 10, you know, I'm knowing babies get killed. I'm knowing innocent people do get killed. But they're not targeting those innocent people. Okay? And 9 times out of 10, it's an altercation between two people, and both of those people got guns. When it comes to white people or European American savages, they go in places like churches where you should have a 0 chance of being killed by a gunshot. They go in places like Walmarts and Kroger's. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. Two people in the West End, I remember a couple years ago, got killed in the Kroger's. You should have a 0 chance of being killed in Kroger's. And they said before he went to Kroger's, he went into a church, but the doors was locked. So I call them savages because they do lock up the guilty and they do punish the guilty. But they put the innocent in there too. And that's basically our beef. That's basically Black Lives Matter. That's black people in general. Every black person. That's basically what we're saying. We're saying, like, look, nobody is saying don't lock up somebody that shoots somebody in the black community. Nobody is saying that shit. We want that person out of our community. We don't want to be in fear in our own community because this dude wants to just ride by and just shoot up any nigga anytime he wants to. No, we don't want that shit. Nobody does. Mexicans don't want that shit. Asians don't want that shit. White people don't want that shit. Nobody wants it. Nobody's protesting that shit. No, it's simple. We're protesting the innocent people being killed. So I look at LeBron James stand up on a podium. He's got sons, right? The sad part about white people or European American savages, is that they don't realize that he's got more than just Bronny. LeBron James got I think he's got 2 or 3 sons. I don't know how many he got for sure. I think it's 3. I'm not for sure. But I could be wrong about that. I know he's got Bronny because I seen Bronny ball. But what I'm saying is that there's black celebrities out there, okay? And that black celebrity, right, will be pulled over by the police, and they'll be like, oh, I know you from that movie, or oh, I know you from the basketball or football game. And sometimes that don't even help, but it helps. But they got children that will be riding in nice cars, okay? They got children that you don't know and don't know what they look like. And that's what I believe people like LeBron James and why he's doing what he's doing, because you may know my face, but you don't know my kid's face. And I'm knowing that police officer don't know my kid's face. So if he don't know my kid's face, and he ain't never asked him for his ID, or he ain't did this, he can easily be killed for a mistaken identity. He can easily be manhandled or arrested, and he hasn't committed no crime. So, you want to know what really triggers me is when people, whether it be white or black, tell me to know my rights. I can know my rights all I want to. It just depends on what police officer I run into. That's it. If I know my rights and I run into this police officer, I'll be okay. But if I know my rights and I run into that police officer, it's an altercation. So, if I tell anybody, it's just a matter of who you run into. It's like hitting the lottery. It's like shooting dice. You know? You just never know what's going to come out. You know, come out of the situation. So, you know, seeing the girl, you know, and the police officer, you know, that triggered me. You know, but it was him just not telling the girl and charging the guy with a even if it was a citation he gave the guy. You know, he couldn't give the girl nothing or do nothing to the girl because it was private property, and he himself would have to witness what she did. You know, he explained it to this man. He said, man, we can't do nothing about her speeding on your property. You want to do something about that? Put some speed bumps up. There is no speed limit in there. You don't have no speed limit on your property, basically. You know? Even then, I might have helped him, but there ain't no speed limit. What's your speed limit? What no speed limit signs? Couldn't have been. It's on your property. Who got speed limits on their property? You know? But then he says, what you did was criminal confinement. And he said, go to your driveway. You know, he said, call Amazon next time. Don't call the police, because I can lock you up for criminal confinement. So then he comes to the girl and he tells the girl, you know, I'm not mad. I need your information. She's like, why you need my information for? Because you called the police. He called I'm going to fill out a report. She's like, okay. So then, as he's talking to her, she's trying to explain, like, hey, man, this dude came to my car and opened up my door and said, get out. Like, he can't do that, you know? And the police officer didn't even want to hear her story. And he was like, nah, just give me your information and we're going to go about our day. I was like, could you imagine having that privilege as a white person, being black, and you criminally confine somebody because you just don't like them or because you think they did something wrong, and you hold them against their will. The police get there. They don't draw no guns on you. They don't tell you that you're under arrest. They don't tell you shit. They tell you just move out the way and have a nice day. I couldn't imagine that. But anyway, and then I seen the video of this guy. He pulled out of a gas station and he went back to this gas station like 3 times. Okay, he drove up the street, came back, drove up the street, came back. The police officers seen him do it, like the first time, right? He rode up the street. He said he couldn't turn his vehicle around, so he went up the street and came back so he could turn the car around. So at that point, she started following him. So then after he gets his gas, pays for his gas and leaves, she starts to follow him. He's like, wait a minute, I see her parked over there. Is she following me? So then he goes back and doubles back into the store again. He's like, yeah, this chick is following me. Then she pulls him over and says, what are you doing? You're suspicious of a crime. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what did he do for you to pull him over? Like, what did he do for you to pull him over? Like, what crime did he commit for you to pull him over? That doesn't work for us. Then, after he established and told his story, he was still detained. Now, don't get me wrong. At the end of this video, he was free to go. No charges, no nothing. And when he was free to go, the girl, I think it was the girl, or maybe another guy. I couldn't see who it was. But they took the dog around the nigga's car. Like, let's see if we can get a hit on this dude's car. You know what I'm saying, man? It's a completely different atmosphere for us. But I kept asking myself, how much time does a person get for suspicion? You feel me? So I told myself, I was like, man, wait. I said, look. Let's say I was about to attempt a murder, okay? And I had a knife, a gun, right? Some rope and some line, okay? And I had all these things in my car, okay? Knife, a gun, the rope, and the line, okay? And I asked myself, I said, if I'm on my way to kill somebody, okay, but I haven't done it, right? And you say to me, hey, man, I want to talk to you. Like, why is that? I'd be like, man, you know, I see you carrying that big bag. I see you put that big bag of lime in your trunk and the rope. That looked kind of suspicious to me. I was like, what crime have I committed? Well, you look suspicious, like, you know, like you're about to commit a crime. Well, that's kind of ignorant on your part. Then you should have waited and seen where I was going and followed me, you know. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to ask him again, what crime have I committed having rope and lime in my car? There's no crime against having rope and lime in your car. How about a legal firearm? I got a legal firearm and a knife on me. It's legal, it's registered. What crime have I committed? You haven't committed no crime, but I need your name and your date of birth. For what crime have I committed for me to give you my information? Even though I know in my head I'm about to go kill somebody. You feel me? It's like, you can be suspicious of me doing anything you want to do, but if I have not committed a crime, you cannot put me in handcuffs and you cannot harass me. But even though we know this as black people, they still keep doing it. There's so much video evidence of police breaking the law, is what I'm saying. They constantly break the law, and then they turn around and they expect me to believe in them, or us to believe in them. And I'm saying, that's your way of thinking. You're telling me because of Chicago and because of inner city crime in any given state, you can't trust me, a truck driver from Louisville, Kentucky. But if I see video after video and I see numbers and statistics after statistics of how many people y'all murdering, white and black. You know, I heard this one story that it was a girl, I forgot what city it was in. I seen this one story, and they killed a 6-year-old little white boy. You feel me? And what happened was the girl stole a car, and she had some credit card frauds or something like that. And she ran into this trailer park, right? And she went in and she busted this dude's door. Basically, ran into this dude's house, I guess. And they knew she was in there, and they was like, come on out. And when she came out, they said she had a gun, and they just opened fire. And what they did was they shot obviously through the trailer park, and they hit the little kid. They didn't get charged with murder for that shit. It's like, how do you not get charged with murder for that shit? Okay, listen to me, y'all. I'm a truck driver. If I kill somebody in my truck, I can go to prison for that. Okay? I can go to prison if I kill somebody in my truck if it's my fault. I, a truck driver, no gun, an accident. I can go to prison for murder, manslaughter. If I accidentally doze off and hit somebody. If it's my fault, I can go to prison. And right now, whether it be an accidental shooting or intentional shooting or whatever kind of shooting, they get paid leave and they may get fired, but they'll get rehired somewhere else. You know how hard it would be for me to get a job if I killed somebody in my truck? They call me a professional driver because I got a certification in air brakes. And I'm saying to you, this guy's supposed to be a peace officer, a professional with a gun and know the law. And that's what I try to tell people. I said, when you're the judge, when you're the jury, and you're the prosecutor, it's kind of easy to get away with murder.